4th year of my physiology degree. I was working on an honors project with my friend, and that I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, it's like that deciding time, right? And that's when it happened. It was just like perfect timing.
What then led you to become a resident?
So, originally my plan was to return to Saskatchewan, where I'm from, and help service underserviced regions in the province, because healthcare is definitely at a premium there. It's hard to get general practitioners of any type or medical practitioners, and so that was my original plan. And so I wanted to make sure I was very firm on my skills before I was thrown into like rural healthcare and anything potentially walking into my door. And then I also wanted to give back to the CCNM community, so I felt like I had gained a lot during my 4 years. And so I thought that learning through the residency program, but also being able there to be sort of a mentor or someone who can help students understand sort of where they're going and what it's like, and really help them identify with some of the struggles, because I was there not that long ago.
What were you hoping to learn from embarking upon the residency program?
So my hope for the residency was that I would become more mostly just learn confidence. So all of the stuff that we've been taught and been learning over the past 4 years of the naturopathic program, how do I really integrate those? How do I say this with certainty, and not rely on somebody else to help me in that process, right? And so I wanted to make sure that I could do that. And also I wanted to just be exposed to more conditions and more different pathologies, different people with different concerns and different ways of those concerns presenting in different people and that sort of thing. And I really just wanted to learn more, just generally more overall, and experience things from a different perspective as well. It's a lot different once you're a practitioner, when you have a lot more responsibility on you and you understand things in a greater context and that sort of thing. It was a good stepping stone, but also like instead of just like a small step up, it's actually like a large leap, because now you're seeing all these different conditions. It's quite quickly, because you're seeing them in a short period of time. So you're seeing from going to 0 patients on your own to seeing hundreds to thousands of patients. It's a small matter of time where you accumulate that exposure and that knowledge. So it's quite a steep learning curve, but it's really rewarding.
What are your responsibilities as a resident?
As a resident, we do a little bit of everything, to be honest. We TA, we help with some lectures. We may be a guest lecturer in certain courses if we have an interest in that. We do supervision of interns in the clinic. We do research projects. We do all sorts of admin stuff. We're sort of we have our finger in numerous pies in the clinic, or in the school, in the college, both in the RSNC and in the college itself. So we're sort of spread out everywhere. But primarily I did a lot of acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine. That was one of my fields. Some botanical medicine, some psychology, that sort of stuff, and then clinical skills, primary care, those sort of mainstream core courses. Those were the main responsibilities that I had, in addition to supervising at both the satellite clinics and then here proper, and then supervising on the IV shift, so the adjunctive cancer care, doing IVs on Fridays. That was sort of and continues to be my role here.
Cool. So what is the main impact or impacts that you aim to fulfill as a resident?
I think that my focus has changed depending on the course or the year that I was instructing. But this past year, because I was working with the interns, the fourth year interns in the clinic, the teaching clinic, so much that I really tried to encourage them to try different things and broaden and challenge themselves and not be afraid of making mistakes or not and holding back. I wanted them to really expand their horizons here and really leave their ego at the door. So that was my thing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes or say when you don't know. We're only humans. We're not magically, after 3 years of medical training, we're not magically all-knowing and all-powerful beings, right? So it was mostly just, okay, work within your means. Don't be someone you're not, and be true to yourself and push your boundaries.
Okay.
So
be
yourself. Don't be afraid to go outside your comfort zone. Those are my two
just try to expand.
Exactly. Continue to grow.
What would you say your focus was during your first year as a resident?
My first year of residency was more course-based. I supervised fewer interns, and so, but I think my message stays true. I think, challenge yourself. Don't be afraid to, try new things. Go discover things, basically. Go discover, explore, ask questions, really, see what there is, and don't be afraid to challenge what has been sort of laid out before you, right? And so, again, continue to grow and see what you can find.
How has being a student and a teacher of naturopathic medicine, both being a student in the program and then being a teacher as in being an intern but also being a resident, how has that affected your life?
The funny thing is that when I stumbled upon naturopathic medicine in a very roundabout way, it was like a perfect fit. So I feel like it's a fairly good continuation of who I am and what my core beliefs are. So that hasn't necessarily changed with the program, but I think I'm more aware. I'm more aware now because of going through this program, and I question things because of this. It's a whole different paradigm than what I had previously been exposed to, and I think that just being more aware of environmental concerns, things that what's really in our food, what medications and what health recommendations do we actually need to follow, whether they're conventionally suggested or naturopathically suggested, and how much power do we actually just have as human beings to create that change and to be more healthy just by changing our mindset, right? And so it's definitely made me more aware of that and of what's ourselves and myself specifically, and then also the world around me. So. I have many hats. Or maybe I should say I have many shoes that I wear. So I do TA at some courses, especially with the International Medical Group.
IMG.
So the IMG cohort. So I'm TAing them right now. I do some supervision in the teaching clinic as well as on the IV shift. So that's still ongoing. I have my own private practice, so I'm business owner. I am practitioner. I am everything covered with the business, and I have a business partner as well, though, so I'm not everything. I'm half of everything. And then we do public education and support groups, that sort of thing. Like there's a few other like minor hats to wear, but primarily naturopathic doctor, TA, supervisor. Those are, yeah.
And then there's other things that fit within those, those categories.
Yeah, I would say I'm like little researcher. I'm finishing up my research project.
Yeah.
And so once that's done, I'll be presenting it at the CA&D conference, and so I'll be doing that. It's an audit on breast cancer care at the clinic, so it'll be really great. I think.
Yeah. Is that going to be happening soon? Or?
Yeah, so that's in June.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's very soon.
It's very soon. I know.
June 2015. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
So I'll just. It's in Calgary, so I'll be going up there to present my poster.
So presenter is a big title.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So the next question is, what do you feel can be gained from participating in the residency program?
So I think that the experience is like no other. Good and bad, it's like no other. And there's definitely good and bad. So like I was saying before, you get exposed to so many different conditions and get to see different people with different conditions and different presentations, and just your medical knowledge just explodes before you, and you're sort of scrambling to gather it all up, and then you're also now, instead of learning all the material, you're now supposed to be an expert and teach this material. So you get is a big transition, and it changes your perspective. So what do I really want my students to know about this information? And what is information that is good to know, but won't necessarily make or break a case if it gets presented to them, and why this information is important, and how do I teach it to someone who doesn't think like I think and it doesn't make sense to them. So you change the way you even look at the information, and then they'll ask you a question and you won't, I've never thought of it like that before. And so that has been a change of role and a change of perspective with the residency program, from student to resident, and just all of a sudden being called a doctor when you were friends with this individual before, and then you turn around and you're now teaching them, and they're instead of calling them by your first name, they're now calling you like as a doctor in your professional designation. So that's a little strange to adopt earlier on. It's a good thing, but at the residency, it gives you a little bit of everything. So like I said, we do audits, so we do research and also just quality control and making sure that the clinic is being safe. And we also do, again, different courses and do work on committees and all these sort of different things throughout the residency. So you learn a lot about yourself and what your capacity to do different things is, and you just continue to experience all things naturopathic and non-naturopathic, and it's quite an experience.
That's really cool. It's cool to hear you say that, because I'm a big fan of Grey's Anatomy. I don't know if you are. Yeah, and so...
Well, I watched the earlier seasons. I don't really watch it right now.
Okay. There's a lot to catch up on, but I'm sure it'll still be around when you do have the time to catch up on. You will have like a lot of seasons to catch up on. Yeah. But the main thing I want to mention is that, because what I had an idea for residency was what I saw from that show. Yeah. And so... it's so cool to hear that you have so many different opportunities of how you can grow and learn. And so it's cool to hear.
And so it's funny because my parents watch Grey's Anatomy, and they were just said to me the other day, they're like, "Oh, like you guys work really hard. Like you're like real medical residents." And I was like, yeah, like we are medical residents, so thanks. But also, it's not just, we don't just do medicine, right? We're not just treating patients. We're not just taking care of those medical aspects. We're also taking care of our students and teaching and controlling that environment as well. And so we're sort of taking our hat off and switching our outfit and different shoes and like we're just a little bit of everything, and every single day sort of changes a little bit more. So but we definitely, the chaos that you see on Grey's Anatomy happens here too. So
what are some challenges people may face in the residency program?
The challenge of residency is balance, and balance in every aspect of your life. So whether this work-life balance thing that you dream of is sort of pushed on hold, but it's just finding where you fit and keeping your equilibrium, because everything's changing around you. You're always being put into a new situation, a new scenario. You walk into a patient visit door and you have no idea what's presenting to you, similar to an intern, but they've just had a good amount of time to find out, and then you're walking in and trying to get it in a very short period of time, right? And so making sure you have your feet firmly on the ground, and just keeping things in check, and time, being very, very good at time management is key, because otherwise that balance goes off and then you go off.
And that's kind of that's really relevant to just all of life too, just trying to keep the balance. So I guess that as you are faced with more challenges, that's the main thing to keep, as you said, keep in check, is that, because that will help you.
And it's not always possible to it's not a 50-50 balance or that sort of way, but it's about keeping your mind flexible and keeping you open to the possibilities and the learning opportunities and the positive experiences, and making sure that balance of taking care of yourself and making sure you're getting the most out of every scenario, making sure that is really still there, because as soon as that closes, then we're going to be tired and not functioning well.
I'm just curious about how you would compare residency to third year. I guess the reason I'm mainly asking it, because I split my courses over the years, and I feel like a lot of what you're saying is really relevant to that. So I'm just curious to see how you would. Of course, they're two different experiences, but I'd be interested to see your comparison between the two.
So third year versus residency. So one good thing that you have in third year, which you don't believe that you have it in third year, but you're still relatively fresh compared to residency when you've gone through that whole program, and then you're put on another level, right? And so third year, the challenge of third year is group work. So if you work well in groups, or you have a good group, then it will go very well and you won't notice the workload. And if you get excited about the material, then it's fantastic, because you actually are applying the knowledge that you gathered in your first 2 years of education, and are starting to consolidate this, and you're starting to see patients as practitioners and being that primary person who's sitting in front of them. But now you have support systems, you have your fourth year mentor, and then you have your supervisor as well. So you have all these different people who are there supporting you so that you do succeed during that process. But the challenge as a third year coming in from second year, the challenge is that you're a little tired from second year. Most likely you wrote NCLEX in the summer, so that's fairly exhausting as well. And then you're into third year, and you are doing a lot of stuff, and you're having to consolidate and draw on all this stuff that you've had previously, and it starts stretching those boundaries, right? And so that growth is the most exhausting part of third year, I think. But I actually really enjoyed it. So I didn't find it to be the most challenging year, and I I really, really enjoyed it. I had great groups. I loved going and researching and finding out this information. Why is that? Instead of being told some stuff that has a for sure answer, now we get to explore and we get to put our little dash of ourselves on our treatment plans and get to use our minds to decide. Sort of, we get more power in third year. I'd say you get more control over how you spend your time and where you go with your learning, and that starts in third year.
Yeah.
So that can be tiring,
exciting.
but exciting, exactly. So I really enjoyed third year. I really, really did. Residency, similar. You have control over research and what you do on your when you supervise shifts and that sort of thing, but you aren't doing group work. You're leading group work and managing those different dynamics, and you're still tired from writing NCLEX too. So NCLEX comes again to haunt us, but you're still a little tired from your exams, and everything's new, and you're trying to solidify who you are as a naturopathic doctor and create that identity, similar to third year, like when you're becoming that intern and who are you going to be in fourth year, sort of thing. So it's another step, and it's a bit of a step up, and so you have maybe a few growing pains in the process, but it's I think it's great overall. You know, it's challenging. Sometimes it hurts, but it's you look back and you're really glad that you went through and had that experience.
Yeah. So. What words of advice would you have? And you can say it however you like.
Alright. So I think my words of wisdom are fairly simple.
Okay.
I'll try to keep it short. So I think find that thing that you're really passionate about and go with that, and get into it and find out every aspect and everything and about it, and just really engage in that and take it to wherever you can dream it, basically. And if you do that, you will succeed. And that's it. Otherwise I'll just start rambling on.
Well, I'm sure it would be like pretty insightful things that you could ramble, but
because when you have passion, you can do anything, and that's what makes great changes. That's where all these amazing things have happened from in history today. It's all from people who are passionate about something and stuck to it, and amazing things has happened. So if we can find that and we keep tapping into that, whatever it is, whether it is naturopathic medicine, whether it's a condition that you're treating with naturopathic medicine, whether it's a whole different field, you find what you're passionate about, you tell the world everything that you know about it, and you just do your thing, and you will be happy and successful. And that's all we could ever ask for in life.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Dr. Trowell.
You're welcome. Thank you.